This is Sean. I'm out here today. We're headed to the Megalodon ledge, which is off the coast of North Carolina. We're looking for some shark's teeth today. So it is 7 o'clock in the morning and we're headed out.
That's why I have a backup. We need a backup.
The boat ride is about 2.5 or 3 hours depending on how calm the seas are, and so we were making pretty good time here. There were lots of flying fish that were getting disrupted by the boat, and I tried to catch some of them on video, but they're just really hard to see. They pop up for only a few seconds, so none of my footage came out of the flying fish, unfortunately. But we're headed there. The biggest thing with shark tooth hunting is getting on a good spot. And so the captain of this boat, this is Blackbeard Scuba out of Southport, they have a few spots that they go to, and so they use their sonar and they look at the bottom profile, or they have a spot that they know and have GPS coordinates on. And so they get over the spot, and then here you see Lucas getting ready to go down there with the anchor line, and he'll go down and scope the area out, set the anchor, and then set a reel, and then we can go down there and follow that line, and that line will lead us back to the anchor line. And so getting on a good spot is the hard part, and that's why you go with an experienced outfitter like Blackbeard. Once Lucas is down working on the anchor line, the captain is now working on some other rigging, including a tag line that you see floating back there that makes it easy for divers to grab a hold of the boat. And they also set up some underwater rigging because, after all, this is a pretty technical dive going down to 100 feet in an open ledge like this. I'm starting my first dive, and I see Lucas coming back up the anchor line, and he's already got a few teeth, so he's just showing them to me, getting me pumped up. And when you're diving in the open ocean like this, it's really important to follow the anchor line up and down because there are lots of currents at different levels, and you can easily get swept off or burn a bunch of air trying to battle the current. So descending the anchor line and ascending the anchor line is a really good practice. So I'm just headed down, and I'm going to be at about 100 to 104, I think, was my max on this dive here at the ledge. The first thing you want to do when you're diving and doing anything is get your buoyancy right. And so I pretty much land on the bottom here and I take a look at a couple things, but then I pretty quickly start working on my buoyancy, and I need to add a little bit of air to my buoyancy control device and get myself where I want to be, and then I'll start looking. The Megalodon Ledge is a geological formation, and it's part of the ancient Cape Fear Delta. And off the coast of North Carolina, it's around 25 plus miles off the coast. And it starts at about 85 to 100 feet, and it goes down to about 130 or so. And it was discovered in around 2000, 2001, when some spearfishermen went out there, and they were spearfishing on the ledge, and their wife and girlfriend were out, and they came up with a bunch of teeth. And so word got out pretty quickly that there were teeth out there, and people started following them out there, and they got the coordinates. And so now you can pretty much go with lots of different charters to the Megalodon Ledge. And like any other ledge, they are just popping out of the formation here, and you can find them in the rubble, just like any land site. I've been diving in Florida, South Carolina, and North Carolina for Megalodon teeth, and this day was by far my best ever that I've done. And so, of course, I attribute that a little bit to a little bit more experience and having an eye for it. But really, Blackbeard and them getting us on a really good site was the ticket. And so we had several people who had never done Megalodon tooth diving before, and they found them too. And so to have first-timers find them on their first dive, that was a pretty cool sight for sure. So definitely props to Blackbeard Scuba for putting us on a really nice site for this Megalodon tooth dive.
He was coming up the line. That might be him. He was working on stringing his gun, so he might not be hanging on the line or unstringing it. So he had a hog that he had on a stringer, but his gun, he was still trying to get him
viz is awesome.
The viz is beautiful.
Current's pretty minimal.
Oh yeah, I didn't feel the current at all.
But some days out here, if you did that, you'd be half a mile away before you surface.
Yeah, it's not a good idea. Yeah.
It's bigger than I thought it was when I was looking at it.
Definitely.
It's nice.
That one.
And it feels like he's got some teeth. Or there's definitely some rocks. At least. But to be trying to spearfish and teeth,
Yeah.
if any one of those was successful, it was
Yeah, a good dive.
nice work.
Hold his tail out a little. There you go.
Ready when you are, buddy.
Alright, I think I'm ready.
Alright, see ya. Good luck.
I recently finished my solo diving certification, which allows me to dive by myself. And so this was our second dive of the day, and I was the first one in. And so this is my pinnacle dive, which is your most complicated or most advanced dive to date. And so what makes this my pinnacle dive is I was going down by myself to 100 feet with no other divers in the water. And not only that, but I also was messing with the cameras, which gives you a little bit more mental taxing or mental loading. So it was pretty exciting to do this dive for me, and the dive master on the boat there knew what was going on, and he just wished me luck too. So that's where I'm at with this one. Megalodons went extinct somewhere around 3 million years ago, and so these teeth that we're finding are at least 3 million years old. And what happens is they are buried in the sediments, and the ledge is basically eroding away. And so what happens is these teeth erode away, and they basically get out into the rubble here. And then eventually they'll just wear away as they get sifted around in the seafloor. And so these teeth that I'm finding are ones that have fairly recently come out of the formation, although they are at least 3 million years old. Megalodons went extinct around 2.5, 3 million years ago. And they are thought to have gone extinct because of rising global temperatures, and their main food supply, whales, they moved further north, and then the sharks could not follow them because they can't occur in that cold of water. Megalodon teeth are found all over the world. You find them in rivers, you find them on land sites, anywhere that the formation that they are within is at the surface. And so it just so happens that this formation is under 100 feet of water. And so I like going diving for them because not only do you hopefully get to find some, but you also get a day of diving as well. The only problem is you have a fairly limited bottom time here. At 100 feet, you have about 20 to 22 minutes of bottom time, and that's your no decompression limit. So that's what I stay in as a recreational diver. Speaking of recreational diving, 104 feet deep is about the max that I've ever been. And this is a fairly dangerous dive in that people do get caught just looking for teeth. We call it tooth fever. And they get distracted, they run out of air, they stay down too long, and they don't have enough air to decompress properly on their way back up, and then they get into trouble on the surface. So definitely dive within your limits. And one of the things is the dive master says when he's at his time to go, he stops looking down because there's that natural desire to keep looking in the last few minutes of your dive. It felt pretty good. Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
That's good. You got it set up.
Yeah.
Looks like you got some teeth.
I think so. Oh, thank you.
See, don't drop them.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That's not too bad for
Second,
For
third
me.
time.
yeah.
Not bad at all. Congrats.
Sweet. Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah, you're not moving on the, you're gonna pop the anchor last and then be on the yeah, sorry about it.
Yeah.
So it's safe.
Yep, yeah, I'm gonna reel the reel. Yep. Pop the anchor.
Cool.
And then
It'll be a couple minutes and then, yeah.
So-
Anchor bag, look for your sausage.
Yes.
Yeah.
You ready for me to
Yeah, I'm ready.
Okay.
Where we at? Oh, right there.
We double check the air.
It's good.
Thank you. There we go.
Lucas is just returning to the boat. He went down and released the anchor line. Apparently it got stuck under a ledge, and so he had to spend some extra time on it. But here he is coming back up on the boat, and with that we are finished and getting ready to head back. I hope you all have enjoyed this video, even though it's a little bit different than my usual content. This is the kind of thing I do on my off days when I'm not working. So let me know in the comments if you've ever heard of the Megalodon ledge, or if you've ever seen a Megalodon tooth, or if you're interested in them. Alright, thanks again for watching.